You thought it was over. Finally, the calls had stopped. I hadn't gotten a text all day. And, for a moment, you could finally breathe again. No more love bombing and trying to come back. There had been no sudden outbursts. Not even the normal mind games to trick his way back in. There was no chaos. Just silence. And at first, that silence felt like peace. But it didn't last long. 'Cause instead of bringing you closure, it brought questions. Questions like, is it really over? Did they finally move on? Or is he just waiting, lurking in the shadows until I let my guard down again? That silence isn't what it seems. It's not peace. It's not time to heal. Simply just a pause. And in the world of narcissists, the pauses are part of the pattern. When a narcissist stops hoovering, it's tempting to believe that maybe, just maybe, you finally escaped. Maybe they've moved on. You are hoping that the chaos is behind you for good. But here's the truth that no one likes to say out loud. When a narcissist goes quiet, it doesn't mean they've changed. It doesn't mean they've learned their lesson. It just means they're distracted, occupied by someone else, feeding supply somewhere else. 'Cause the fact is, narcissists don't move on in the way healthy people do. They don't reflect on what happened. They don't process or evolve like normal people do. They replace and rotate. They jump from one source to another, always chasing the next emotional high, the next hit of validation, the next person who hasn't yet seen behind the hidden mask. So if they're not texting, begging to come home, stalking your social media, or leaving little digital breadcrumbs in your inbox, it's not because they've forgotten you. It's because they've benched you. You've been placed on the shelf. That's what you become to a narcissist once the supply that they get from you runs out, a shelf item. But you are still theirs and still within reach, but no longer needed in this particular moment. You're not discarded. Not really anyways. You're held in reserve until they need that supply again. And deep down, they assume they can always come back to you when the mood strikes. Maybe when their new supply starts asking too many questions. Or when their mask slips again. Sometimes when they're bored and want to stir up more mess, they will come around just to make sure that they can. Could be that they are lonely at the time. Or when they crave that particular kind of attention you used to give them, the validation, the chase, even the arguing is supply. Any emotion or reaction is fuel that they crave. See, to a narcissist, all attention is fuel. It doesn't matter if you're praising them or yelling at them. As long as your energy is directed at them, they're winning. And when they're not hoovering you, it doesn't mean the game is over and you won your peace back. It means they're playing it with someone else. And the second that shiny new supply starts to dull, that's when they'll remember you. That's when the messages return. Fake apologies start again. You get the random, hey, just checking in, or the old inside joke pops up like nothing happened. That is when the cycle comes full circle, and here we go again. 'Cause they want to know if the door is still open, and this is how they test that door. It's not affection. It's inventory control. But when they stop hoovering, here's what it actually means. They're not hungry for you right now. That's it. It's not love. It's not hate. It's not anything personal. It's simply, you are not their preferred source of supply today. Brutal, right? They will do this with you as long as you will let them. When you face silence from a narcissist, you start questioning everything. Did they ever care? Was I just a placeholder? How could they walk away so easily after everything? Did they change for the new replacement? But those questions come from a place of humanity, and you're dealing with someone who operates outside that. You were never in a relationship based on love. You were in a relationship based on control, power, and ego strokes. That's why it hurts so deeply. 'Cause you brought your heart into something that was never truly about love in the first place. And now, in the silence, your brain still looks for closure. Your heart still wants answers. But silence isn't closure, it's control in disguise. And here's the part no one tells you. Narcissists often come back when you're just starting to heal. Just when your breathing gets steady again, and just when the flashbacks fade and your strength returns, that's when they reappear. 'Cause they sense the shift. They can sense when their control is slipping with you, and they want to pull the strings one last time. Don't fall for the calm. Don't assume the stillness means safety. Because when a narcissist is quiet, it's often when they're recalibrating. But they are still watching everything you do and planning their next move. So what do you do when the silence feels louder than the chaos? You flip the narrative. You stop seeing their absence as loss and start seeing it as freedom. You stop measuring your worth by their attention and start measuring it by your boundaries. You stop waiting for them to return and you finally seal the door. If they've gone quiet, good. Let them. It's not rejection. It's a rare window of escape. It's a chance to see them clearly without the noise. It is time to recognize that what you miss is who they pretended to once be, not who they truly are. It's your opportunity to end the cycle for good, 'cause they will never really end it themselves. They just vanish for a while, then hover, suddenly resurface, and repeat. But you're not them. You can end it. You can be the one who says, no more. Not again. Not ever. By staying gone. By blocking them, not for spite, but for peace. By reminding yourself that this longing isn't love, it's trauma. And by refusing to let their silence become a new form of control. The truth is, if they've stopped hoovering, it doesn't mean they're gone for good. But that doesn't mean you have to answer when they do return. So take this quiet season and build a life that doesn't wait for the next manipulation. A life that doesn't depend on their mood swings or guilt trips. A life rooted in peace, not performance. 'Cause real love doesn't keep you guessing. Real love doesn't shelf you until further notice. Real love doesn't vanish just to see if you'll chase it. And if you're still wondering, still doubting, still craving answers, I want you to hear this. You're not crazy. You're waking up. And that's the beginning of your power. I tell these stories and more on this channel, Toxic Confessions TV, and in my core space, Toxic Confessions. If this resonated, please like, comment, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. You are not alone. You are not crazy. And it's not your fault.